On my recent video about whether or not the Pirate Party could succeed in America, somehow a discussion got started in the comments about the merits of the Electoral College system in the US. Username Viking Legs left a very highly rated comment that says, "This is what baffles me, and I'm not the first, I know that, but why in the world is the Electoral College still a thing? It fails to properly represent the opinion of the people when 51% of the votes in a certain state gets you 100% of the Electoral College votes for that state. In this day and age, we should have moved beyond this." The main argument that Viking Legs used in their comment is an argument that was iterated very, very well by popular YouTuber CPG Grey.
Start with Wyoming, the state where 0.18% of Americans live, but who get 0.56% of the Electoral College votes for president. And, because it's a winner-take-all system, you don't need all of them to vote for you, just half plus one, or 0.09%. Then add in wins in Vermont and North Dakota and Alaska. Notice how the votes you're getting to win the presidency go up much faster than the percent of the population who voted for you: Colorado, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Maryland, Missouri, Tennessee, Arizona, Indiana, Massachusetts, Virginia, and New Jersey. Congratulations! By taking advantage of the unfair rules and winning states, not people, you've won a majority in the Electoral College even though 78% of the population voted against you.
CGP Grey finishes his video with a very definitive statement that because of all of the issues with the Electoral College system, we should switch to a national popular vote system. There is a way to work within the Electoral College system to have a de facto national popular vote to decide the presidency, and it utilizes a legal trick known as an interstate compact. Citizens of the United States do not vote directly for president, they vote for electors who then vote directly for president. But the Constitution leaves it up to each individual state to decide how exactly they elect their electors. Right now, all but 2 states have a winner-take-all system. Whichever candidate wins the state wins all of that state's electoral votes. But states that pass the interstate compact will give all of their electoral votes to the national popular vote winner, but there's a catch. The interstate compact only goes into effect when enough states have passed it to constitute a majority of all the electoral votes, 270. If and when enough states pass it, we will still technically be using the Electoral College, but for all intents and purposes, we will have a national popular vote. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't think that we're carefully considering how exactly this would change the way that candidates campaign and how that would change America. My hunch is that in a year like this year, where we're pretty polarized, that if we had a national popular vote to elect the president, that the candidates wouldn't be nearly as concerned about winning over undecided voters in swing states, and they'd be much more concerned about just rallying their base, making sure that their guaranteed voters showed up to the polls. I think candidates would try to convince their side that the other candidate is as scary as possible, even more than we're seeing right now. My other big concern would be that IRL campaigning on the ground, would just stop. That candidates would find it's a far better use of their resources to just focus on getting their message out through the national media. And that's important because, I mean, I know as well as anyone that when you're communicating through a screen, you can make yourself come across pretty much however you want. There's a certain level of humanity that just doesn't register through media. If voters are given fewer opportunities to judge the character of our candidates in person, I think that we will be poorer judges of character. Now, maybe my fears are way overblown here. Maybe switching to the national popular vote would open the door for more than 2 candidates to run. Maybe it would change the political calculus in new, unpredictable, but beautiful ways. My point here is not necessarily that making the switch would be a bad thing. My point here is that it would necessarily be a bad thing for us to charge headfirst into anything without carefully weighing all of the potential implications of that transition. And I do not think that we have weighed all of the potential implications of this potential transition.